The contrast between 3D and fifth dimensional frequencies is a very appropriate and timely discussion, especially when we're dealing with the Great Awakening, and the key word is spiritual information warfare. Having access to unlimited level of information is really pointless unless if we are able to or have a clarity how to access this information, and how to navigate this information warfare, what we're dealing with. Let's see what happens by using some of the highlights of your own interpersonal level of navigating information, and um, how we process information, how we put things in perspective, and perhaps take a moment to process these things using external circumstances, and how it's affecting your personal life, and areas where you have room to improve, and areas where you are cautioned, or put situations, circumstances in notice. It's hazardous perhaps, or eliminate and move forward because you kind of learn about the lessons, and without personally creating bondage towards with these experiences, uh, we have a healthy navigation with the information, because we know this is no longer serving us a purpose, so therefore we're moving, proceeding forward towards your personal growth, while you're protecting your mind, body, spirit vessel. Let's see what happens if we can uh, remember with the because your whole life is a school, and it really irrelevant what age, what time we put attention towards certain circumstances, because it's all about growth, and there is no right or wrong way of doing things. Is what you are comfortable, compatible with, is all that matter. And growth happens when you don't take it personally, but you are uh, learning with the experience for the purpose of improving, enhancing your vessel um, towards the growth. And like I probably mentioned this earlier, very early on, when I was walking towards the school, I always have this feeling of being watched, like a monitoring spirit. They are not ghostly or anything like that. It's just an indefinite feeling when you're walking alone, especially instead of enjoying those breathtaking sceneries and views, you feel like you're constantly being watched. It's not visible to you. It's something that's you felt, your intuition, your gut feeling there to support. So this is when you are learning to figure out there are some things uh, hidden, some things that we need to proceed with caution this life. There are two different spectrum, the visible world, the unknown, but a sort of feeling or intuition. This is like your operating system. So this is the very early on, perhaps grade 1, 2, 3. This is very prominent feeling that I start thinking when we should be spending time with the lessons and learning these things in the school. We have a lot more mysterious things that you are interested in pursuing, because we want to make sense out of this life. The other most important thing that I felt when we are interacting with the authority, which is your guardians, um, your teachers, peers, even authority, for me, is something that was very clear to me very early on. The lessons should always be in the presence of a level of nurturing, level of presence, and respecting the vessel, my little body, mind, spirit, really was very adamant about these things. Even you're a young person, it's really important that you weren't humiliated, you weren't gaslit, you weren't um, uh, manipulated, you were respected, you were nurtured. The lessons be easier, and we will have a very compatible rapport. But the absence uh, of presence and nurturing, it was a dead end. This was something really clear memory for me. Uh, but let's put things in perspective with the external world. This is my personal beginning, how I start processing information that is very personal to me. Uh, Everyone else might have a different experience, but uh, it doesn't really matter. You can have the most enlightened guru out there. They can't really help you in a way that you are learning from your own experiences. So this is why it's important for us to navigate how our human experience and the contrast between 3D and the fifth dimensional frequency existence, and importance to important places to look out now, especially uh, very early 20s, 2020, so we learn these important lessons. We were experiments all over the world, but these are common sense observation to my authentic way of looking at information, right? The key word always is information spiritual warfare. So we need to pay attention to details. I am an individual who pay attention to every single little details, because this is how we navigate, because safety was something important, and the integrity of my vessel was something important. So uh, let's see how well we can do explaining these circumstances using our external the matrix setup, and how I perceive information. And when the pandemic in 2020s, it was a separation of two. We were exposed to experimental situation, and choices are up to you, but you always have potential to lose a lot despite your choice. In this case, regardless of what you choose, you tend to be the one who come to loss. The external matrix grid, they because we recognize them, so that associate with the level of respect, but we can use these words that's not very pleasant or familiar to us, demonic and source. And when we use these words, it's kind of feel yucky when you say demonic, but it's a very important we address these things appropriately. The control grid when we recognize that associate with the level of acknowledgement and respect, so therefore uh, we shouldn't feel too badly about these. So their manifesto is for the humanity is the depopulation. This is the agenda. Apparently, it's too many of us. So then us human species throughout the world, we are all about ambition and education and healthcare, the business model, marketing. This is the kind of information that's given to people, and this is the driving force for the humanity. But the control grid, obviously, they're very clear about their agendas, their thoughts of us, their what they're hoping in the long term. So all these individuals with a big ambition has to come to terms with the fact that end game is really the depopulation and make you disappear. This is the very clear mission statement from the Matrix machine, and we heard the kings, the ones who are roaming with the kings, they were saying they want to be a mosquito and infect the humanity. So this is the kind of respectful observation and the manifesto and the mission statement they have put on the humanity. Yet we have a really hard time processing these information, just like the narcissistic, abusive relationships that we form and throughout our life, and some people have these circumstances until we decide this is not my goal. Nothing can resolve, change, or elevate, because where our level of sleepiness, our level of ignorance, and lack of ability to process information and see things as exactly they are. So this is one way of looking at it. The other factor is that most closest to everyone's life, to how we fuel ourselves. And one of the, if you observe even the animals, one thing they always look at is the feed. If they are coming down with something, if they are sickly, the doctor will come and they will say, hey, I'm concerned about their feed. They seem to be lacking something. And so therefore it's important for us to improve the diet and put things that's nurturing them. If you're doing any kind of land or the gardening or planting things, this is another factor. Soil is something really important for the growth, and its most vibrant and nutritional values of the soil is important. So once again, we have these unlimited number of extraordinary fuel systems, the food, yet we seem to be lacking very important vital nutrition. And anywhere when you're doing gardening with the animal kingdom, one of the most the feeding is nurturing. This is how you fuel your body, but we seem to be having extreme level of ignorance and a disconnection, and we are unable to ask questions. Why is this allowed? If we can't figure these simple factors, this is the victims of information and spiritual warfare because we are um, not able to fuel ourselves appropriately. But every time there is a new administration comes, there gallivanting all over the place with the jet, making all these deals, yet we are not able to even have the fuel system, our food that is vital for our survival. So one way of looking at it is the load-bearing wall, or all these human species from all around the world putting in this labor, creating things for a system that's really the manifesto is a depopulation. So you're working towards a dead end. But in a fancy world, we call it ambition, and we're looking for some kind of a system that we want to manage other people. This is what enslavement and ignorance and lack of connection look like in real time, in real life. What is the purpose? Why do we feel like we need to have a position of authority from the external world? This is why we are looking, because the ambition is the goal, the ego is the goal, all about creating circumstances where you can scare other people into enslavement. So this is not an accomplishment in a healthy ecosystem. This is what we need to pay attention. For what purpose you need to have these ambitious titles, and because you want to be validated, you want to feel comfortable, you want to be authoritative, and you want to feel important. But all the while you would be easy target for social structure that is going to the mission statement is to be use them as a hackable animals, or depopulation agenda. So you get monetary values where you could easily be surveyed. Your morality, your integrity, your authority, it's already paid and bought, and most of the time you and your families are the one paid into the system. So therefore it is your own doing. So we need to pay attention, because it's a spiritual information warfare. So we are really ruining our digestive system, because we're lacking nutritional benefits. And I know the professionals, the appropriate authorities will have appropriate discussion about your gut health and your nutritional, all of these things, because they have more credible information regarding these. But it's a common sense. We are able to, everyone, ordinary housewives are able to resolve these issues. If you are ever speaking to the mother, grandmotherly figures, they are very well equipped to handle a lot of things, and they'll say, hey, this is what, try this herbs, try this kind of remedy. You can easily resolve that. So they have this knowledge, but this is not what we are looking for, because we need to have credible information with the licensed practitioner. So this is a myth, and they are not, we are really, one thing I've always really, I felt it was important that my life is business with the creator, the source, my higher self, and me. Is the between this. This is the only way forward for me, because I don't really like any kind of middleman. It's a repel. It's sort of you get stunned at the level of comical system it is, but we are not creating a lot of controversies regarding these things, because we are humble and we don't want to upset any ecosystems, because the development is a personal journey. Like I said, it's a you between you, your higher self, and the creator. So there is no arguments there. But when they came for you and your jobs, because of your choices that you made for your own vessel, this is when you know that you have to stand your ground. So the education system is like this. We have to figure out solidarity or solitude, the loneliness, aloneness. We can have these circumstances to really develop and have a deep dive into matters that's really important. But anytime with the education, the employment is always get you far, far away from any level of comfort and isolate you and into another place. And this is where you can serve the gatekeeping positions rather well. So these are the red flags and need to keep eye on, because the mission statement from the Matrix overlords is a depopulation. So they are really worried about the professional, educated, and the ones who are already labeled in the cult, the unis and the diplomas, and they are such as these, they fit the a mold like cults, because they are already grouped, they were already rounded up, they have picked their mission, work towards the overlords, the gatekeepers, demonic gatekeepers, the different layers there, but they are never going to choose you. You might have the impressions of authority, you have impressions of title, you have impressions of high class, but you could just be like a little weasel, be probably blackmail, already bought because of all the privileges that comes with the gatekeeping position. So these are another red flags. And healthcare is the same thing. It's never a place where you get any kind of healing. It's always one more step. You have to go to this specialist. Well, he's turn around and send you another place. These are there to really open your eyes, awaken you, and remind you of your own personal responsibilities regarding your own existence. Remember, we could be running a business, we could be following the orders, we could be just doing a job, but you are the one who is responsible for all things you are dishing out. Now, who is going to keep points and judge you and give you the judgment day? It is your higher self. It is your soul. It's your mission in life. You have to have a little bit of awareness. If you haven't, we aren't be doing these things in hiding, in secret, in darkness, like we see and hear all these people are entangled with all these mysterious things because the darkness means it's not visible, it's not easy, it's always a shadow government, it's a sub corporation, it's a sub account, it's a sub agent, it's nobody's there. Hey, I'm the one who authorized this, and proceed. And this is what clear mandate is all about, but it's always shell companies, it's a sub entities, another person, you go to them, they're going to guide you towards another area. So it's, and then when it come to a dead end, it's going to be AI, we blame the AI. So it's really never an area or is accountable. So this is putting burden into the load-bearing wall, which is the essential workforce. I mentioned this earlier. I worked for like 3 days into this packing, putting big warehouse, big sort of factory kind of thing when we were in school. A lot of kids did that, but I wasn't really thinking, wow, I'm getting a few dollars here. Well, sure, maybe for the first day. And then I was immediately thinking, wow, what the hell? They got the business office, they got the HR, they have all these things, they got a lot of people working, packing pudding. I'm like, that was really disappointing. And if I have that in the most vulnerable state of my life, maybe if somebody dropped you these boxes that we were packing there, I would just toss it in the recycling or garbage. This is how useless it was, but it's for the economy. This is what we do with the resources, because there is no value into what we are doing because it's a depopulation agenda. There is no value put into the human services. And this is what the business model is all about. And it is not their responsibility to tell you. It's a school of life. It is our personal responsibility to use this information and deal with the information warfare and learn to navigate. So when we are saying they are trying to siphon your energy, the education is the same thing. For years, your most vibrant, most precious part of your life is your foundation. You are elsewhere dealing with demonic gatekeepers, unsuspecting. They are siphoning your energies. They're putting you into a category. They are labeling you into a category. They are putting a barcode into your existence. This is another thing when far away East Asia, when you see this, the really remote part, the mountain parts of the country, you see some things you buy in the store that have a very few options. You see a barcode. When you're growing up, you wonder what is those lines are all about. What is the purpose? Why is it there? Nobody knows how to explain, but you know there's a barcode. But it's really a common sense and educated option that we question these things. So what is the barcode for the humanity? It could be your bloodline. It could be your DNA. We don't know, but there is a barcode, and the demonic agents, the dark masters, they know a lot more about you than you. And we know for ourselves. They know our weaknesses, they know our temptation, the money. When you hear about monetary options, we will sell everything, your family, everything, and because we want to try, we want to sacrifice. We hear these stars always says, oh, I sold I sold my soul to the dark master. For what purpose? They are not hiding. So like this, they know our temptations. They know that we are constantly chasing. We just never know how to spend a few minutes in solitude. And these are very important things. They are. This is why they are intelligence, and we are sheeples that were sleepwalking, and they want to eliminate us because the sleeping, uh, even humanity, the sleepy, unconscious agents have no use. You can't go on forever, including the ecosystem. If it is not thriving, it's not the most vibrant. There's no purpose for them to exist. So that we have all sorts of restructuring. The elements, the fires, the flood, the rain, and the wind, and the storms. These things are happening continuously all around us. It's all about transforming into the most vibrant. This is the purpose. This is why they are speaking about depopulation agendas and hackable animals and putting chips and those things. And because we are operating life with the extreme deep sleep. So the contrast between 3D and the fifth dimensional existence is that we come to the surface. Even number 5, according to what is the word I'm looking for? Can't even pronounce it. The numbers, the number 5 is associated with the new beginning. And so it's important for us to pay attention to these things in order for us to be the most vibrant species existing. Has to be awakened. It has to be new beginning. It's got to be the most vibrant. The sickly dying agents aren't the thriving ecosystem. So if according to Matrix, because we are unsuspecting, unawakened, uh, in ignorance, just following the trend, following the the information warfare, lack of knowledge to navigate. We become an easy target because we are sickly, operating from a position of extreme sickness. So this is not a thriving ecosystem. Responsibility is ours. Instead of getting emotional with the circumstances and with extreme sickness, where to maintain your most basic functions of life has to be supported by 5 other agencies or individuals. It's a tough goal. So this is time where we come to terms with how do we become so sickly? Why can't I function, amend for myself? Why can't I do these things? Because it's never happened overnight. Because we are relying on unsuspecting external matrix demonic agents. That is mission statement is to depopulate and hackable animals. That's lab rat. So there is no honor there. So all the prestigious circumstances with all the ambition driven agents, you were the one is easily managed and really clearly understood, and sacrificial lamb. So we need to know about these things. The dualistic political position is another important thing, because the politics seem to be running every part of our existence. So then this dualistic political culture, do you know all these people have the optimal health? All these people have the best choices when it comes to making your life the most vibrant? Do you have the financial knowledge to value things, live to your means? Are you a hoarder? Are you an addict of some sort? Are you what right do you have and promote vibrancy for the human ecosystem, that we could be participating in a dualistic political game and decide for individuals what is your barcode, what category you fit into. So it's already someone who's navigating life consciously knows, hey, don't decide for me. I am the one who is deciding for my life, because I am awakened, I am conscious. I can protect the vibrancy of my life despite all the gaslighting, manipulating, programming, and poisoning, because the workforce, the load-bearing wall of any social civilization or social structure, is the essential workforce, but we aren't paid appropriately because they are all about siphoning your energy and destroying your well-being. But instead you choose to thrive and decide you have to be empowered. You are eliminating all these middlemen and keeping your obligations to very simple things where it's manageable for you, so you don't get consumed by the system. It's called consumer society. This is another red flag. So when you notice all these different layers of information warfare, we have much easier time navigating information spiritual warfare, because we are in a position we can't afford to chase after something. Is never is the finish line, because if you accomplish a lot, you have that one more thing you always have to come up with. Same thing with the education, the programming, the advertising is super high at the beginning, but once you're finishing a couple of years into it, it's a low blow, it's a downgrading, and sort of oh yeah, it's it's optional. It doesn't mean you have a degree, you're going to get a job or anything like that. So it's downplaying your accomplishments. Because and then you have to do another one, another specialty. So this is how the con artists, the demons, are prolonging things, and you get stuck in a limbo, and you're exhausted, you have anxiety, you are so into deficit with the time and energy and the resources, because it costs you pretty pennies. And these are very important things to navigate life with when we're dealing with the information spiritual warfare. So let's continue these kind of personal, but how we perceive matrix, and how to protect ourselves from these energy siphoning areas that is all around us, and to protect ourselves and start life going towards that fifth dimensional frequencies, and be familiar with processing information towards something more vibrant and long lasting and satisfactory, because we are now seeing things as exactly they are. This is what the fifth dimensional frequencies are all about, is the presence. That's the most vital, and the common sense and the intelligent methods of processing information warfare. Thank you.